and it's also and you'll notice that, like in Japan, they have 5, 6 foreign guys on the team, and they just shuttle them back and forth to the minors. You're just, oh, had a bad game, beat it. Okay, go down the minors. Oh, okay, we'll use you next time. It's very cheap. It seems like to me. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. They don't. It doesn't seem like they appreciate the contribution that you're trying to make and how difficult it is to be a foreign player. I haven't really had that so much here. Probably because there's only two foreign players allowed. They're maybe treated more like, hey, you're here for the long run. Sure, they do make changes, that kind of thing, but they can only make so many changes during a season. And so I think that's part of the reason why you're treated a little bit differently here. It certainly helps if you're older. The fact that I'm a veteran guy, oldest guy on the team, I'm shown a lot more just Korean culture in general. Yes. Sure. Since I'm older than everybody, it's kind of implied that I'm to be shown more respect, maybe than a younger, even a younger foreign player, that type of thing. So that certainly helps to just ease that maybe that little bit of possible awkwardness or whatever. But there are definitely younger players here who do have those issues. But one thing I will say, if you conduct yourself in a good manner, not be too boisterous, not be kind of an I guy, like this is I'm a foreign player, I'm going to do it my way, this kind of thing, you're for the most part going to be fine. The guys who conduct themselves with class and respect their Korean players, the Korean culture as far as baseball culture, if they're doing well, obviously everything's golden. But if they start to struggle a little bit, they'll get more of a chance to succeed. The guys who don't show any respect for the culture or anything like that, once they start to struggle, they will pretty much get shut down. They will, okay, this guy, not only is he not a good player, at least at that time, but he also doesn't really care about us. Maybe he's just here strictly to make some money. So they will definitely shut down communication with them, and it's okay, let's move on to the next guy.
What do you say to Dana Evelyn, who's come here and really struggled? Had some good starts, but hasn't had many W's. I think just one.
He's in a difficult situation. Being on that team can be difficult because there is so much. They have struggled so much over the years. They also have a very, very traditional manager, which lends itself to, how should I say, basically a move on type attitude. You're a foreign player. He definitely, to me, he definitely treats his foreign players like hired help. So I think it's been difficult for him to have some struggles. You just kind of have to keep on plugging because it can definitely turn around. And I don't know him personally. I haven't talked to him at all. But if he is continuing to do all the right things, say the right things, be a good guy, work hard. If he starts to do well, which he's had some good games, if he starts to do well on a regular basis, all of this stuff that's gone on, all of the struggles that he's had, the thoughts, it's not going to matter because he's been a good soldier and he's doing well. That's really bottom line. When you are a foreign player here, the number one thing, play well. That's why you're here, is to contribute, and frankly to be one of the better players on the team. You're not here to be a role player. You're here to be one of the better players on the team. And if you don't do that, it's there's plenty of other guys in the States who would love to be here. It's a really good opportunity. So they're gonna go ahead and move on.
Toughest out for you in this league?
I think over the time, it's probably Kim Tae-gyun. He just for the way his swing is, even his pre-swing routine, he's constantly working on keeping his hands inside. And with me I throw inside a lot to right-handed hitters. With him practicing that all the time, he's able to keep his hands inside and still drive the ball well when I pitch inside. He adjusts to what you're doing. You can't pitch him the same way all the time. Usually he'll make the adjustments, and you might get him out one way the first time. You're probably not going to do it the next time. If you're that I think that's what makes him difficult. Also, if you do make a mistake, more times than not, he's going to hurt you. He doesn't typically miss mistakes, so you have to you're definitely on your toes every pitch against him.
Do you have about 20 more minutes? Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. What I'm going to do is break this into 2 parts.
Okay.
30 and 30.
Okay.
This comes from a listener. Travis Compton wrote, "What went into your career last year, and how many years do you think you have left?" Last year was what went into your career year last year, and how many years do you have left, do you think?
I think the biggest thing for me last year was coming to the realization that I'm no longer a power pitcher. My entire career, I was a guy who threw in the mid to upper 90s fastball wise, so I could get away with missing, especially in the minor leagues. I could get away with missing over the plate or high. Because I could usually throw it by guys, and I had a decent breaking ball to put with that. Well, as I've gotten older, 37 now, 36 last year, my fastball was nowhere near as good as it used to be. And also, since my arm speed has gone down a bit, my breaking balls aren't as sharp. So I couldn't be throwing maybe a 91 mile an hour four-seam fastball and then an average slider or whatever, and be successful on a regular basis. So I came to a realization that that was going to have to change, and I picked up. I learned. I came into spring training 3 years ago, my first year with Nexen, wanting to find a new pitch, whether it be a split finger or a sinker or whatever, and I found a grip that I liked for a sinker, and just ran with it. Instead of really testing it out, I just basically said, this is going to be it. I'm going to do this, and started throwing it. I started throwing it that year.
Did somebody help you with it? Or?
No, I mean, our closer, so he kind of showed me the grip, but it was also the same grip that Mel Stottlemyre had shown me when I was with the Yankees. But it didn't work for me then. Maybe because I wasn't really willing. I wasn't desperate at the time.
Right.
So he just showed me the grip, and from that point on, I just went with it, and just to see what would happen. I was coming off a knee surgery that year, and so my balance wasn't particularly good, but the pitch was working. I mean, I would miss with it, I would walk guys, I would hit guys, because I just wasn't quite comfortable with it yet, but I saw what was going on. I went from being a fly ball pitcher to, I think, second in the league in ground balls, which was, wow, okay, this is pretty cool. And then last year, being 100% healthy, had a year of using that pitch to my advantage, and also starting to get comfortable with throwing the sinker outside instead of just inside. It made a world of difference. I could just say, okay, I'm throwing this pitch for a strike, and usually it would end up in a ground ball. And usually when you get a lot of ground balls, as long as your defense is good, you're gonna get a lot of outs. My strikeouts, I used to be a high strikeout guy. I think I had 208 innings last year. I think I had 100 strikeouts, which just is not me. But I tell you what, it certainly helped me get deep into games. I threw 6 or 7 innings just about every game, which obviously helps the bullpen, and just it certainly helps games go quicker. it was fun. It was just reinventing myself. It was a fun experience. So now I'm just trying to continue to roll on with that, and I think even now I'm trying to do some different things with the sinker, trying to move it around a little bit more. I'm kind of toying with it at this point.
You got a lot left in the tank?
I hope so. I mean, I would. Obviously, the velocity is going down. I mean, I top out around 90. Every once in a while, I might hit 91 now. But I feel like the pitch lends itself to longevity. As long as I can stay healthy, if I can move the ball around and get a lot of ground balls, I think that'll certainly help. It's hitters make adjustments. They start to realize that if I'm seeing it at, say, just over knee level, maybe don't swing at it because it's probably going to end up out of the zone. But then if I'm seeing it at a little bit higher, maybe waist level, and that pitch is going to be a good pitch to hit or whatever. Hitters make adjustments, so I need to be able to make sure that I'm moving the ball around in and out, working in my other pitches. I got into a bad habit of just throwing sinker slider. And that's just not realistic. I need to work in my curveball, my changeup, and so that's kind of my that's the next reinvention for me, is to become more comfortable with my other secondary pitches. My changeup, I think, is going to become more important pitch for me now.
Who'd you grow up? I know you grew up a Dodgers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your childhood favorite player?
My childhood favorite player was Steve Sax. I didn't care about pitching when I was younger. I didn't care about pitching when I was even in high school, even in college. Really, it was just okay. They wanted me to pitch, so I'll pitch. I always wanted to play, shortstop, second base, anywhere in the field. So I was playing every day. I wanted to play every day. Period. And I just liked Steve Sax. I liked the way that he went about playing. He was a hard-nosed type guy. Obviously, being a Dodger fan helped. And so that was really who I emulated. As I got older, as I pitched a little bit more, I started to like Nolan Ryan. I kind of patterned my motion after him at one point. I mean, I had this really high. My knee was up to my face at one point when I was in college, or when I was in high school. So I obviously I like the fact that he was blowing balls by guys and that kind of thing, especially at his age. But that was really who I liked, at least at that point.
Speaking of Nolan Ryan, Yu Darvish is on pace to pass Ryan's strikeout record in a single season. You got to see him in Japan?
Darvish?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were on the same team his rookie year.
Right. Can you talk about him a little bit and what it was like being with him over there and him now and what you think of him?
Well, I mean, just coming in that year, his rookie year, rookies are like gold in Japan. I mean, rookies a lot of times have more notoriety when they're first coming in than like your veteran stars. They just love them. They love rookies there. And so he came in, there was obviously a lot of curiosity, obviously had loads of talent. Certainly there was the curiosity that he's half Japanese, half Iranian. There was a difference to him. But he was pretty quiet. He was fairly typical Japanese rookie player. He just was taking it all in, trying to be respectful of all the older players and going through the motions. He had plenty of talent. He took his lumps here and there, but I mean it was pretty obvious that he was going to be a special pitcher.
So you're not surprised by his success right now?
No, definitely not. My only thing is I'm always concerned with Japanese pitchers is their health, the amount of throws that they make throughout a season and stuff like that.
This is a little bit selfish of me, but you put the pinstripes on. I dreamed of doing that. Mm-hmm. What was it like? I mean, to play in the old Yankee Stadium, to call Derek Jeter your teammate, to pitch for Joe Torre. You mentioned Mel Stottlemyre was your coach. What was the most special thing about being a Yankee?